We have all been waiting for this out of defenseman Simon Nemec. GM Tom Fitzgerald has to be thrilled. What he can't be thrilled about is the play of his veteran goaltender in Jacob Markstrom. But we'll break all that down for you here on Devil's Digest. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan the Gosiker here with you today, chatting about the Devils' 3-2 loss to the New York Islanders, but some of the storylines that kind of came out of it. So we're going to have some fun today, chatting about Devils hockey as we always do. Simon Nemec, we'll talk a little Jacob Markstrom. Okay, if you want to comment on the video, please do. If you want to be a subscriber, please do. Okay, we want to get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Okay, we're nearing that 900 plateau. And once we get to 1,000, man, it feels like this thing's just going to keep on running. So we appreciate everybody that has already subscribed, and we want to keep that number continuing to go up. That's how you get all the latest, greatest Devils content, all the breaking news, new videos, all that stuff is being a subscriber to the channel. Now, let's start talking about the Devils' loss to the New York Islanders last night, 3-2 in overtime. Their first home loss on home ice this year, which is pretty sad. I'm saying it's just sad that you're not going to go 41-0 at home, but there's always that little bit of dreaming, right? Always that little bit of dreaming that wishes you could just keep this fairy tale riding as long as you can. Devils have been playing with fire as of late. I think the stat is that they only have one win in regulation in their last, I think now 8 games. Okay, so Devils have certainly been flirting with fire, but we know why they're flirting with fire. It's because this team's banged up and because they just don't have the horses right now. Their top guys are continuing to go, but those guys have to shoulder more of a load. They probably are taking more shifts now than back when everybody's getting healthy. Certainly defensively, they're taking more shifts than they have, and that's why I want to get into some talk about Simon Nemec and his growth. He had the goal last night with 4.7 seconds left. Just an absolute rifle from the top. Just a great slap shot. Apparently, he said he closed his eyes and hoped it went in. That's just, well, when you score the goal, you can say that. If he had missed wide left, you wouldn't have been able to say that, Simon. But nonetheless, why don't we take a look at that goal, okay? We'll take a look at what Simon's been doing this year. Let's take a look at that goal first. I know it kind of started a little bit funny there for you. See the emotion right on his face. Let's take a look at it again. Boom, right from the top, slap shot in that bottom right-hand corner, a place the Devils actually beat Sorokin twice last night, both goals in that same spot. Here's what Simon Nemec has done this season, okay? 16 games, 9 points, okay? 8 assists, so about an assist every 2 games, okay? Now the one big goal, right? Just keeping this thing rocking and rolling. And what's really been impressive to me has been his ice time as of late. Even last night, we'll take a look at it. I believe I have it here, just running through some stuff, sorry. Here's the box score, okay? If you look down at Simon Nemec's name, okay, 22 minutes of ice time. Again, that came off a near 27-minute ice time the game before against Pittsburgh, okay? So he has certainly been shouldering the load while some of these defensive injuries have kind of taken the Devils out of their normal realm with the guys like Dougie Hamilton and the guys like Brett Pesce and Johnathan Kovacevic, right? I mean, their entire, when you coming into the year, we knew Kovacevic was hurt, but if the roster is completely healthy, your starting right defensemen are Dougie Hamilton, Brett Pesce, and Johnathan Kovacevic. They're all out now for Lord only knows how long. Kovacevic is a few more months at least. Pesce, did you see the cast he had on his hand? I don't know if he's coming back anytime soon. And Dougie, they're saying at least a week. What in the world that means? It's a lower body injury. Who knows what that's actually going to mean long term. So the Devils' entire right side has been out. Simon Nemec has been the guy that has stepped up in that role, okay, and has taken, this is something we went back at the beginning of the year, and I remember doing videos on it. Who's going to get the shot this year? Is it Nemec? Is it Seamus Casey? And again, I think Seamus Casey is still the more highly regarded prospect and one that people think is going to be better in the long run. But right now, Simon Nemec, we had last year with the whole interview thing where he's like, oh, how many number 2 overall picks do you see getting treated like this? Yada, yada, yada. Now he stepped up in this role with the injuries, and he's making a strong case. And I know, wow, Goose, he's playing more minutes because everybody's hurt. Correct. However, coaches don't have to trust young guys with those minutes. Just because they're young doesn't mean they should be getting those extra minutes. He's earning those extra minutes out there on the ice late in games, in big moments, okay? So last night was just another just awesome performance by him in terms of he gets the goal, ties it up with less than 5 seconds left. Great slap shot from the top, and just beats Sorokin. So it was awesome to see for Simon Nemec, and great for this Devils team, and one that I'm sure Tom Fitzgerald's got to be happy about, right? I mean, that's a guy he drafted, right? And there's a reason they took him at number 2 overall, and we're starting to see it. Again, by no means is he up for whatever best defenseman in the world, right? We know that's Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, all those guys. He's not even close. But he's starting to show why he was drafted where he was drafted, and why the Devils should continue to give this kid an opportunity even as some of these pieces come back, right? I mean, right off the surface, Colton White and Dennis Cholowski got to go before Simon Nemec at bare minimum. Now, that's not setting the bar terribly high, but I think he's got to be the third man out. So what that means is probably when Kovacevic comes back, that's when Simon Nemec should be out of the lineup. And even then, let's see how he's playing by then, because potentially maybe they make a different move. Maybe they sit a guy like Dillon or something like that. Who knows? But I'm saying Simon Nemec is elevating his level of play, and he's really, really showing some growth. And I was kind of, while I was getting ready to do this video, I was kind of thinking of, and I was talking to the Devil's Digest team, and I'm like, they're like, what do you feel? What do the fans feel? And I was like, oh, excited. Like, excited was the first word that came out of my mouth. And then I started thinking about it, and, well, the saying always goes, think before you speak. The one I came up with that to me is the best is encouraged by Simon Nemec's performance as of late. That's what Devils fans, in my opinion, and that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling excited, because I'm a Giant fan, and I just lost my head coach, and my star quarterback's hurt now, okay? So life ain't particularly great on the sports gridiron right now. So anything that the Devils do that's good makes me excited. But I would say if you're looking at this holistically, the best phrase I could come up with for Simon Nemec's play the last few games is encouraging. It's encouraging to see if you're a Devils fan. Now, what's not encouraging, going back to last night's game, is the play of Jacob Markstrom. Nice goaltender you traded a first-round pick for. The Devils recently signed him to a 2-year extension worth $6 million, so he ain't going anywhere. But we got to talk about Jacob Markstrom, because he has been terrible, okay, as of late. This was his line last night, and it just feels like every game he just lets one stupid goal go in, where you're just like, wait, really? Are we playing? Is Allen playing? Because Allen's usually the one over the last couple of years that has let in some of the most ridiculous goals. But Jacob Markstrom, he just has not been sharp. And I think this is his game log here. We'll take a look at this. I mean, look at those save percentages. Okay, look at the one in Columbus was in relief. Okay, so, I understand why that one, there's only 9 shot attempts. Okay. But, I mean, look at the loss at Colorado. 8 goals allowed on 42 shots. Okay, against the Kings, 44 shots and 1 goal against. That's .977. That's Jacob Markstrom right there. Okay, and then, against Montreal, against New York, okay, it's just not good enough. Jacob Markstrom, with what he gets paid, that save percentage number needs to either start with a 9, or the first 2 digits have to be 8-9. He cannot be in that. I think right now on the season he's sitting at an 871. That's just not good enough for what they pay Jacob Markstrom. It's just not going to cut it, okay, for a Devils team that wants to go far. And you guys have heard me on these videos giving a lot of credit to the Devils for their fight and their tenacity, despite the fact that they're down so many guys. This has to get cleaned up, because this was the goaltender duo was what you were saying was you didn't have to worry about, right? Because Markstrom's a vet, Allen's a vet. They're both good vets, right? They're not, they're not terrible. Okay, and they're solid. They're solid to really good. And Markstrom just so far has not been very good. So we'll see how he continues to go on. All right, just something to watch. And word of advice to Paul Cotter: just stop taking stupid penalties. Right? I mean, that's the whole reason the Islanders went up 2-1 in that third period, and we needed the Simon Nemec heroics, was because Cotter took that dumb penalty. And then, of course, Kyle Palmieri, the former Devil, had to bury the second one to make it 2-1, what he thought was going to be the game winner. Thankfully, Simon Nemec said, no can do, sir. So, tough one for the Devils, okay, but the growth, let's just recap a little bit. The growth of Simon Nemec is encouraging, right? That's the big sign. And what's discouraging is the recent play of Jacob Markstrom, okay? He's got to find his groove. I think he will. I think he's a veteran. I think this is just one of those things where it's a long season. He's going to go through stretches, okay? I expect him to be better. He has to be better if the Devils want to go and reach the spots they want to get to, which is deep into the playoffs and a Stanley Cup, okay? So he has to be better, all right? But very encouraging stuff from Simon Nemec, and Paul Cotter could just stop taking dumb penalties. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody for listening, for watching this Devils content and on Devils Digest. We appreciate you. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you got any, who's been encouraging or discouraging for you on the Devils team as well. So we've got more content coming out as we always do. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we'll catch you next time on Devils Digest.